Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. I'm Nancy St. Leifer.
And I'm Rita Blockton. Among the stories we'll be covering in this edition, the Mamaroneck Chamber of Congress is angry over the village's plan to stop pickup of industrial and organic garbage from businesses.
Mamaroneck Village backs down on its proposal to restrict fishing on public property.
Youth Officer Bob Reynolds discusses Halloween safety tips with our local kids.
And a possible parking controversy brewing in the village of Mamaroneck.
Those stories and more in Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. First, last week a meeting was held at the Larchmont Village Center to discuss the state of our drinking water. Larchmont and Mamaroneck receive 100% of its drinking water from New York City. In fact, all of Westchester receives 85% of its water from Manhattan. Discussions included many things, including our renegotiation with New York City, the contract for our drinking water. With me now is Joe Morgan, village engineer of Larchmont. You didn't get into renegotiations?
Only at the end. Only at the end. I asked Sal Salona a question about what the monetary significance was going to be to the consumer when the renegotiations of the contracts that have expired and will expire. He went into he explained it. He didn't give numbers or percentages or anything like that, but he said there would be an increase. The quality of the water from New York City is at the present time very good, and they want to take the steps to keep it that way.
Okay. For anyone interested, there will be another meeting on November 17th at 10 o'clock in the morning at the potting shed at the reservoir. Nancy?
Village of Mamaroneck businesses and merchants are quite upset over the village's recent decision to cut back on garbage pickup of industrial and organic refuse. This move was initiated by the village as a cost-cutting measure. However, merchants and businesses whose landlords already pay taxes for this service are angry because they will now be forced to pay private collectors as well. In a move by Chief Joseph Del Bianco to curtail complaints of littering, illegal parking, and other problems caused by local fishermen, the village board proposed an ordinance prohibiting fishing on public property around the village of Mamaroneck. Consideration of the proposal by the village board was dropped due to a large number of complaints by local fishing enthusiasts. 3 other municipalities on the western shore of Long Island Sound have indeed passed such an ordinance.
And now with another environmental update, Greg Federbush.
As I mentioned last week, on Tuesday, November 6th, you can vote for or against the 21st Century Environmental Quality Bond Act. At a press conference last week on the shores of the Long Island Sound, I asked Jeff Kane from the Citizens Campaign for the Environment what the $1.975 billion Bond Act is for.
It is the largest bond act in the nation for land acquisition and solid waste management in the country, and will really move New York forward in environmental programs.
I also asked State Senator Susie Oppenheimer why she was there.
This event today was to stress the importance of the Environmental Bond Act, because if we don't clean up our environment now, it's going to be too costly for our children to do it. So please, everybody, support the 21st Century Bond Act, which will be Referendum 1, Proposition 1 on the ballot.
I asked Jeff how people can get involved with the Citizens Campaign for the Environment.
They can contact us in White Plains at 997-0946. We're at 100 Mamaroneck Avenue. People are welcome to stop by and see what the kind of materials we have on environmental issues in the state.
You can see the entire press conference right here on LMC-TV Channel 36, Friday at 6 p.m. and 11 p.m. Volunteers are needed to help on the fall cleanup of the Larchmont Reservoir, Saturday, November 10th at 10 a.m. Call the Friends of the Reservoir at 834-8478. Take care.
Thanks, Greg.
Monique Citron, Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News school reporter, here with news from Actionville.
Actionville celebrated its 20th anniversary last week. 20 years of providing an educational alternative for Mamaroneck 5th and 6th graders. Teacher Don Tedesco, its founder, current students, parents, and alumni gathered for an annual get-together at Harbor Island Park. Mayor Noto was on hand to receive a plaque on behalf of the town and help sample some super baked goods and watch the Sound and Light show.
I can't tell you how proud I am each year to come to this beautiful park and be a part of the Mamaroneck Village. And as a As a special recognition, the Actionville program over the last 20 years would like to present to all the people of the village of Mamaroneck this beautiful plaque presented, it does say October 12th because that was supposed to be our original day last week, in appreciation for your kind generosity in allowing us to use the Harbor Island facility for our annual Harbor Day experience for the last 20 years.
It was back to school night 2 nights the other week at the high school, Mamaroneck, and enthusiasm ran high, as well as attendance for 2 particularly stormy evenings. The ceilings were dripping as parents and teachers got together to talk about the kids. Mamaroneck Town Police are looking for part-time and full-time crossing guards. The job pays $35 a day with 5-6 days each year. For more information, contact Detective Robert Reynolds or Officer John Fox at 381-6100. Unfortunately, it's too late to see Mamaroneck High School's fine performance of the Crucible, but a chorus line is dancing into Mamaroneck High School's McLean Auditorium Friday, November 16th and Saturday, November 17th. And in the Emmelyn Theater, you can hear 90 minutes of our best musicians in a wonderful honors music festival. The evening is Tuesday, November 20th at 8 p.m. For information, call 698-9000.
Thanks, Monique. Actionville seems to be very much in the news this week. In fact, last week, for the 20th year in a row, Actionville students visited Edineia Cemetery, located on Mamaroneck Avenue across the street from Calico Corners. This small graveyard is an historic site and contains gravestones dating back to as early as the 18th century. Actionville students used the visit as an educational tool to study subjects ranging from math to history to language arts. Each student roamed the cemetery with a 13-question worksheet, requiring them to answer such questions as how long people lived, the area and perimeter of the gravestones, and other biographical information. According to the director of the field trip, the cemetery is a wonderful spot for an outdoor, hands-on learning adventure. Rita?
Nancy, that sounds like a lot of fun. A few Hommock students recently interviewed the Town of Mamaroneck Youth Officer Bob Reynolds about safety tips. And here's their interview, which they also edited themselves for LMC-TV News.
Is there any kind of safety tips or general things to follow that you could give to the parents to tell them what they should do to make their child's Halloween happy and safe?
Yes, there is. There are several things. First of all, when you're dressing your child, make sure if they're wearing a mask, make sure the eyes on the mask are wide enough so that your child can see. While they're dressing, before they go out, if you can get some reflective tape and put it on their backs so that when they're walking down the street, traffic can see them. If they are walking down the street, make sure they're holding your hand, yourself or an older brother or sister. If at all possible, perhaps they can go during the day so that in the evening is a little tougher to see. If you do go in the evening, perhaps you could bring a flashlight and make sure the children can see going up the steps of a home. By the way, we give out these safety tip bags. I have at Central and Murray, which is located in my jurisdiction, and we try to have the children use these bags. As you can see, they're McGruff safety tips on them. And we hope that all the children will use them. When they do get the candy or fruit, we ask the parents and the children that they do not eat it on the street. We ask them that they bring it home and check it out. And by that we mean to open up the candy, the bag, break it, make sure there's nothing in the candy. If the bag or candy wrapper has been tampered with, do not touch it, just throw it away. If you feel that there's something suspicious about it, by all means call the police at once and we'll be more than happy to come down and check it out. If you receive an apple or oranges or something along those lines, cut it open as well as possible and make sure there's nothing inside, and we hope that everyone has a healthy and safe Halloween.
Thanks a lot. We really appreciate it, and hope the parents get a general good idea of what they should do to make their child's Halloween happy and safe. Thank you, Detective Reynolds.
Okay.
This past Saturday, the Larchmont Chamber of Commerce held its second annual Ragamuffin Parade. Local kids were invited to parade down Palmer Avenue, ending at the upper deck of the bank. Hot dogs, pizza, Polaroids, clowns, Big Bird, Ninja Turtles were all there. The proceeds all go back to the Chamber of Commerce.
Don't forget that Halloween just wouldn't be the same without Trick or Treat on 36, an annual event held right here at LMC Studios Produced by Carol West, that's the Wicked Witch of the West, and Russell Harvey. The party starts at 6 o'clock and goes till 10 o'clock at night. Please be sure to come dressed in your costumes and join the fun.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun to me. Well, we've done a little research and discovered that there is a very interesting loophole in Chapter 5B, Section 9 of the Village of Mamaroneck Parking Code. While subsection A requires a person parking their car to immediately deposit the necessary coins in the parking meter, subsection E allows those same cars to stand or stop for 15 minutes. In addition, we've heard rumors that some cars regularly park in metered spots for several hours and are not ticketed, despite the fact that no coins are deposited in the appropriate meters. More on this really breaking news story next week.
And that's it for another edition of Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. As you know, this program is aired over the same channel every weeknight at 5:15 and around 10:15, Monday through Friday. If you have some video from a local event you think could appear on the news program, isolate your best minute, write a few notes describing it, and please bring it over to the LMC studio in the Palmer Avenue unit of Mamaroneck High School.
Thanks for watching Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. I'm Nancy St. Leifer.
And I'm Rita Blockton. See you next week.